Good morning, everybody. So, over the last couple years, we have heard people nonstop in the media, nonstop talking about, oh, trust in the media is down. Young people's trust in the media is down. It's awful. It's terrible. It's awful. How do we get it back up? And they talk about doing things like banning TikTok because that's where a lot of people are getting their news nowadays. You know, and here's the thing. I want to, and feel free, anybody watching this, feel free to show this to your parents, your grandparents, your aunts, your uncles, and have them, and to help them understand as to why people 26, 27, and younger don't really look at traditional media as something useful or something that we need. And I'm going to show you guys exactly why. So the first thing I want to note is, and this is going to be the short part of it. Here we are, New York Times website, fine and dandy, and scroll, and I look, I'm like, oh, extremists in uniform put the nation at risk. I'm generally anti-authoritarian. I'm not someone who, likes the idea of, right-wing extremists in as police officers, or just extremists in general. Okay, let me click on it. Oh, guess what? Gotta pay. Meanwhile, if you go over to, say, Fox News or Breitbart, the New York Post, any of these center-right or right-wing places, it's all free and you can just read. And this is part of the reason we don't like traditional media. This stuff is radicalizing our older family members, and is the desire for money, like from these companies, they're doing really good journalism, are keeping it, And so what are you gonna do? You're gonna look for the free option because, let's be real. When someone posts a New York Times post on social media and you click on it and you say, oh, that looks interesting, I want to read that. And you're like, fuck you. And as you should. We don't, the internet has fostered explosive growth for news articles and stuff, but we don't want to pay for it. And as much as that sucks to these companies' bottom lines, change your business model. You can't. You're going to lose relevance this way, and which is why we have moved to other third-party liberal and left-wing media sources. And even if you're not, there's a reason why the right-wing ones don't do this. Right-wing, people our age don't have to deal with this shit. And then if I wanted to, say, look at a liberal version of say, the issue of, crime being up, oh, guess what? Got to pay for it too on WAPO. You see what I mean? That's one part of it. Here's the bigger one, and this is what I feel like is the most important. It's not relevant to us. Let's take this article from CNN for an example, shall we? 3 things that will help reduce the sting of high inflation. Love to hear it. I'm making, high 5 figures. I'm still living paycheck to paycheck. I'd like to get 30% of my income back. That'd be great. And I'm doing better than most. Take your take-home pay may go up next year. Starting next year, your paycheck could be a little bigger thanks to inflation. That doesn't really affect me. Because the way the tax brackets work, and here's the thing, I am a minority. I'm like a 1, 2, or 3% of people my age on average. Most people my age are living paycheck to paycheck, working 1, 2, or 3 shitty jobs, and just being just above the poverty line or at the poverty line. If they're in a tax bracket that barely takes taxes out anyways, compared to the higher bracket. So this adjustment isn't going to do anything for them. Maybe they'll get an extra $100 back, per year, but doubtful. You can reduce taxable income and save more for your future. when you save money in a tax-deferred retirement plan, like, we don't have 401ks. I have a 401k, but that's because I work at a fucking bank, and I got lucky. Most of us don't have it. I'm the only person among everybody I know that's below the age of 27 that has the possibility of retirement. Like most of people my age don't have a prayer of that. And they don't even have the money to... We don't have the money to think about retiring. We have to pay for it now because of a fucking inflation. And so now we're at two different points where, one, most of us are not in a tax bracket where that will actually help us significantly. And even the people who are in the higher than me, it's not going to help them significantly either. They might get a couple extra grand back in a year, but it's not going to be that much. And here's the thing: the tax deferred people. If you have a 401k, you're already doing that. You're already doing that because here's the thing: if you can afford to have a 401k and save for retirement, you're already doing this. So this is irrelevant. And lastly, your Social Security payments go up. Great. Completely irrelevant to anybody under the age of 65. This is this is from CNN Business. Like, this is supposed to be broad. Like, they know who their audience is, and they bitch and they moan and they complain about, oh, young people don't look to us, young people don't trust us, young people don't utilize us as a resource. Why the fuck not? I don't. Why would I need to? Nothing you said in that, like, there was some of the stuff in that article was maybe a little bit, like, one thing maybe I might pay a little bit less in tax next year. Great, that doesn't help me out right now. It doesn't, and none of those things help anybody. Most of the people my age were broke, starving, suffering, and sick. And y'all gonna get mad at us for voting, and the Republicans are going to get mad at us for voting against them in the midterms, and now they want to raise the voting age to 21. Cool. I apologize for my anger. But I feel like it's justified. And on that note, I hope to the person watching this who doesn't understand, the center-left person who, like, older Gen X or Gen Boomer, who just doesn't understand why the young people don't like that they're good. It's not relevant to us. They don't care about us. They advocate against student loan reform. Like, even CNN was questioning it when Biden was doing it. It helped 40 million Americans. Most of them people our age. And y'all didn't want it to do it. Because of fairness. You know what's not fair? The fact that we are paying for your retirement, in that you have put in policies and built a world that have bankrupted our future. And you can say, oh no, you're going to have a future. You're going to be dead by the time it gets bad. And that's just the fucking truth. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so very much for watching. A big thanks to our patrons. They support the show for as little as $1 a month. Please consider subscribing to the channel. It helps a lot, and I appreciate it. I love seeing the community grow. We have a Discord down below where you can join us and talk. I post my live stream. I announce live streams there, and it's generally a good time. Thank you so very much for watching. I appreciate your faces. Have a great rest of your day.